Yeah, Philippe Coutinho scored a stunning winner as Liverpool dented Manchester City's Premier League title defence yesterday, as well as, of course, enhancing their own chances of qualifying once again for the Champions League with that victory at Anfield. I'm delighted to say that we're joined here on the Sports Breakfast now by the Liverpool manager, Brendan Rodgers. Good morning, Brendan.
Morning, Brendan.
Good morning, guys.
Brendan,
Morning.
I know the rules. One game at a time, feet on the ground and all the rest of it. Let's leave the scorelines apart. You must be delighted with the way that your team is actually playing.
Yeah, the performance level's been really good over the last couple of months, and I think yesterday was very pleasing to win in that style and put that much energy and mentality into the game. Physically as well was incredible, especially after a late return from Turkey. So, but now the team is very clear in how it's working and playing at a real good level.
And Brendan, you won't be surprised to hear that Neil Warnock is taking some of the credit for this. He thinks that after your defeat at Crystal Palace, you had sat down and a proper rethink. So he's taking some of the credit.
No, and he should do as well, because it was a real sort of defining moment in our season, and it was fair play to Neil and Crystal Palace. They were excellent on the day, but I needed to come away from that and really look at the team, because we were certainly nowhere near the level that we'd been for the previous 18 months, and that was a turning point. So no, Neil's absolutely right.
I tell you what, though, Brendan, I read one or two saying about it was your finest hour, or I don't know whether you quoted that, but when I look at what's happened in the last 12 months, I think it's got to be close to that, because, pivotal, I think everybody were on your back, after we beat you and everything, and you go away and come up with this system, and the lad Emre can. I mean, I don't know. People talked about your signings, Coutinho being too fragile and weak, and all these other ones, and yet gradually you've got your system, which is, managers go to clubs and decide what they want to do, but you've got to do it the other way. You've got to look at what you've got and then get your system. And I think you've gone about it the right way, and you've had to do what managers have had to do. You've had to bite your tongue, get the stick, and it's so rewarding when you on the bench at full time yesterday and you get the rewards for what's been a long plug, really, the last 3 months.
No, thanks a lot, Neil, and it means a lot, because obviously you've been in that position yourself, and as when the bullets are being fired, that you just got to keep your head down and keep trying to find the solutions, really. But you look at our team. Listen, you'll know how I work, because your teams have played against my team. So, we like to press the game really hard and aggressive, and obviously I like a technical game. So if you looked at the teams yesterday, there was nearly a physical mismatch there with the likes of, Coutinho and Joe Allen and Lallana, Moreno and, young Markovic, all those players against a real physical team. But yeah, the boys have adapted really, really well to how we wanted to work. And I'm very fortunate with the real honesty in the group that we have. And because they're young, a lot of the young players, they're really willing and keen to learn. But of course, they still have to believe in the way of working. So
that crowd, Brendan, it does help, doesn't it? When they get behind you as well, and you've got your team playing well, it's a hell of it must be fantastic stood there listening to that crowd.
Oh, it's a privilege every time we play there, Neil. It's a real intimidating atmosphere, and as I said, they know the football, the Liverpool supporters, but they're very, very passionate, and they've been very, very supportive. I've been, as I said, given a great time here by the supporters, because they knew what we were trying to restore at the club. And as I said, yesterday was, again, an amazing atmosphere, and they really helped push us through and get the results.
Brendan, myself and Danny Higginbottom on the show with you on Saturday nights have been watching Liverpool's progress in the past couple of months, and we're really impressed that you've gone to a 3-4-3, and you've had the courage not to really try to disguise a 5. There are a 3, with Emre coming out of the back 4 as well. There is sometimes just a 2. And we've been trying to work out a system that nobody seems to have found a way yet to break down this 3-4-3. I don't expect you to tell me what it is, but if you were confronted with your current team, do you think there's a way of playing against Liverpool that can stop them being so forward-going and dynamic as we saw again at the weekend?
You can't ask him.
I can. That's what I'm paid for.
Yeah. And Neil will tell you what the answer will be.
No, well, I'm not sure he knows either, to be honest.
No, I tell you what, it was something that I'd looked at it at the beginning of the season, because I felt that I needed to change something when we were sort of in that run where it wasn't going so well. And we played it away at Newcastle, believe it or not. Nobody really picked up on it. And I played it in the sort of cup competitions. And because there was very little training time in the Champions League games where we were playing and recovering and playing again, I couldn't work on it on the training field. We would do some elements of the system, but the way I was trying to find out was actually then in games. So we played away at Newcastle. We actually played quite well, but we lost the game 1-0. So that gave us something to think about. And I learned, in that game, for example, I played Raheem Sterling in one of the wide roles, and it didn't suit Raheem. So I've got to then go away and think, well, how do I put him into the system and make it work for him? But it's all sort of come together quite well because of we've been able to work on it more, and the players obviously carry it out well, and they believe in it. So, but listen, that'll be for other people to have to work out.
Well, myself and Higginbottom don't seem to have enough brain power to work it out, so I will have to ask Neil when you're gone, Brendan. Now, look, go on.
When I look at it, Brendan, now, like you've come into it now, nobody, unlike last year where I think you were doing that well with Suarez and everything, and everybody expected you to, whereas this year, you've just gradually creeping up, and like with not a lot of games left, I think it's a great position to be in now with the lads flying, to try and grasp that third or fourth position, and rather than just hopefully qualify. I think your lads, they're so eager now, aren't they? There's no reason why they don't continue.
No, I think it's one, and then as you say, Neil, because of the start to the season that we had, it was there's a real freshness in the team as well. Like last season, we won 12 out of our last 14 games, drew one and lost one. So it showed me then that the players have the real stomach for a fight, but they also perform well. It was really fluent in that period, and only towards the end, as I said, the couple of slip-ups. But this year, as I said, we're enjoying now playing how we want to play. And as you say, come the end of this week, actually, we'll be then probably for the first time this season with 10 games to go, we'll be preparing for one game a week. So that'll actually give us even more time to work on the field. And as I said, because obviously for the last 3 to 4 months, it's been nearly every weekday a game. So which obviously curtails your training time.
And Brendan, finally, just in the preparation for the show, one of the army of teenagers that we employ here handed me a piece of paper which shows how much your teams, and I mean all the clubs you've managed, have tended to improve in the second half of the season. Sports science or something else, Brendan, or just a belief coming into the squad in what you're trying to do? Because we're seeing it again this year.
Yeah, well, we periodise the programme, myself along with my coaching team who've worked with me more or less through my sort of career today as a coach and manager. So we look to prepare the players and periodise it through the season so that when they come to the second part of the season, there's which is the business end, as Neil will tell you, that you're ready in every facet of the game, and in particular psychologically. So that's something that we take pride in. But of course, you still need the players to have belief in what they're doing and how they're working. And as I said, the players here at Liverpool and at Swansea, my time there, were brilliant at that. So as I said, we just got to keep focused and keep enjoying our football. We really concentrate on performing, and we believe that if we can perform well, then the results will come.
Well, enjoy it, Brendan Wally, because you definitely deserve it this season and earned it. And I think every manager has been through what you went through, and we've all had success as well, what you're going through as well. So, and you've got to enjoy it while you can, haven't you, when you're doing well, and good luck to you. And
Brendan, sorry, absolutely repeat that. Good luck, because obviously I loved watching Liverpool yesterday. They were fantastic. Brendan, we've got the commentary of your Sunday afternoon game against Blackburn coming up in the FA Cup. With you know what I'm going to say next. It's all lined up, isn't it? Steven Gerrard's birthday, all the rest of it. Liverpool for the FA Cup this year.
Well, I think that's the story that everyone's trying to follow. I think they're forgetting that there's some very good teams and some very good managers that we've got to beat to arrive there. But now listen, the script is there, but you've got to win games, and obviously Blackburn as an opponent. You know, Gary's gone in there. And a couple of years ago, as I said, it was really, really difficult for for Blackburn. But he's gone in there as a young manager and done fantastic, and he's got some very good players. So we respect that the game at the weekend will be a tough game again.